How are you lovely people doing today? My name is John, and welcome back to another beautiful, wonderful, and amazing episode of the Zombie Storyline Q&A. This is the only series on YouTube where I take your questions about the zombie storyline and I answer them. Whether it be a big, a small, or a simple question, I'm more than happy to answer it. So go ahead, leave your questions down below. Maybe I'll see it, and hell, maybe I'll answer it. You may even be in the next episode if you want. There are multiple ways you can submit your questions for the Zombie Storyline Q&A. The first way is to tweet me at JohnnyJ25. I'm always checking my Twitter, and it's one of the best ways to get in touch with me. A link down below. Another way you can submit your questions is to leave them down in the comments below. That is another way you can get your questions seen. I go through all the comments, so don't worry, I will read your question. Without further ado, though, let's get rocking and rolling with the episode. So we're going to kick off today's episode with something a little bit different. A couple months ago, February 13th, I answered a question from Guadalupe Nieto, and he asked me, why was the Warbird shot down? Now, this video has gone on to do very well. It'll probably be one of the most successful videos I've ever created, garnishing thousands of views a month, and that is wonderful. I am absolutely amazed and just so thankful for the support that this video has received. However, as time has gone on, I've realized that I was wrong. My answer and explanation as to why the Warbird was shot down is false, and I see this video doing very well, and I see this video sort of basically spewing out false information to the community, and I thought I would take some time at the beginning of this episode to really correct myself. So what I had originally said was the Warbird was probably shot down by Atlas. Atlas didn't want our characters to leave, thus they shot down the Warbird. But as I have been proven wrong, and many of you have told me, that is probably not why the Warbird was shot down. What probably happened at the end of the Exo Zombies Easter egg was that the Warbird was actually hit by a care package. So the Warbird being shot down was an accident, and this makes a lot of sense. When we consider the end of Outbreak, the characters were actually rescued by a Warbird, Atlas. Why would Atlas shoot down their own Warbird and then go on to rescue them again? So it doesn't really make sense that Atlas shot down their own Warbird. What probably happened was it was just a freak accident from a care package. The Warbird was never meant to be shot down. So I would like to apologize first off to Guadalupe Nieto for giving you the wrong answer, and the community, because I'm sure this video will continue to do very well, and it'll probably continue to spew out false information. I'll sure to be leaving an annotation on that video linking to this one so people can get a better understanding of it. But I always try to answer questions as best as possible. I don't like to bring out false information, and thus I want to make this correction at the beginning of the episode. I apologize, but let's move on to some more newer questions. So now we're going to move on to a question from Kai Robertson, who asked John, do the CDC/CIA play a specific role in the zombie storyline? They seem to be able to get to any place the Green Run crew get to, with the exception of Diorite, but that is expected. Are they following the Green Run crew? No, they're not exactly following the Green Run crew. The CIA and the CDC aren't exactly meant to be important. Remember, these are unnamed, unvocal characters. They do not say a single word. The maps that we see them featured in are almost throwaway maps. They're special maps. They're only there during survival. Survival maps don't really play a particular role in the zombie storyline, with the exception of Nuketown. However, Nuketown is its own special little bubble. So I would say the CDC and the CIA don't exactly matter to the zombie storyline. They do exist in the zombie storyline, but what we can basically learn from the CDC and the CIA is that this is the United States government's response to the zombie outbreak, which tells us that the government actually still exists. So despite the world being in chaos and the zombie apocalypse running, they still were able to sort of garnish the resources necessary to send out CIA and CDC troops to try to contain things, figure out what's going on, and probably help people. I'd imagine the CDC are there because, of course, it's a disease. The zombie apocalypse is ravaging people, so the Center of Disease Control would be sent out. And then we have the CIA, and they were probably just sent out there. But Treyarch almost, in a sense, used them as throwaway characters. They didn't want to use our main characters and have this contribute to the zombie storyline in any way, because that would just create confusion. So they used these throwaway characters, and while they exist in the zombie storyline, they don't exactly matter. So we're going to end today's episode with a question from Salmon Derps, who asks, will the Ray Gun Mark 1 and Mark 2 be in COD 3 Zombies? So this is a tricky question. It's pretty hard to answer. Nobody really knows which weapon specifically will be in Black Ops 3, but I picked this question for a very specific reason. I'm sure many of you are going to be leaving me a lot of questions asking whether or not your favorite guns, your favorite characters, your favorite perks are going to be in Black Ops 3, and quite frankly, I have no idea, and very few people in the world have any idea what is going to be in this game. Here's what I will tell you though. If there is any information pertaining to what will be in the future zombies, we will know in the form of a trailer. I wouldn't really trust leaked information, so to say, because there's tons of leaked information flying around, and a majority of it is not true. If you see somebody on a video with actual proof, then I would take it as fact. For now though, we're just gonna have to wait for a trailer. There is a trailer coming up though on April 26th. I doubt this will have any information pertaining to zombies. I'd imagine it'll be pretty campaign based, and we won't see a zombie trailer until the summer, but you never know. Keep your eyes open, and I won't know until those times if certain things are going to be in the game. So just an idea for any of you who have any comments in the same realm. That's going to be about it for this week's episode of the Zombie Storyline Q&A. If you enjoyed the video at all or found it interesting, maybe give it a like. Let's see if we can try to hit 300 likes on this video. If we can pull that off, I think that would be pretty amazing. If you have any questions, maybe tweet me at JohnnyJ25 or leave them down in the comments below. If you like this video and like to see more, please be sure to subscribe. I upload multiple Zombie Storyline Q&As a week, and if you like this one, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Have a wonderful day, and bye.